be hard. So we're going to apply a reasonable amount. It can be quite liberal. We'll probably have a little bit of squeeze out, that's fine. Plenty on the edges there. Sorry, I don't know if you can see me there. All on the front. Try not to apply too much around the screw holes. This stuff isn't known for its strength, so you should be okay. Alright. A little bit on the side there. Wipe that off. It's all good. So we're going to place that on there. A little bit of squeeze out, but it's okay. We're going to screw it in one of these. Even if it gets onto the threads, this isn't high strength glue. We should be alright. And we're just going to go finger tight. We're just using these screws to index. We're not using them to tighten them down too much. You don't want to induce any stress. So that's finger tight. And that's that. In the meantime, I'm going to get some cotton buds. Take off the worst of this stuff. And then I'm going to be using some acetone. You can use other stuff, you can even use vinegar. You can also use WD-40. Shouldn't cause any problems. I have actually put Krylon on this base. It doesn't actually come with that colour, so I've got to be very careful that I don't remove the paint. Later on I'm actually going to be doing something I've tried before, which is really good, which is just putting a layer of epoxy onto the over the top of the paint, just a very, very thin layer. You can apply it even with your finger, something like that. And then putting it under a heat lamp, and it works very similar to some of the other stuff on the market. There you go. Which is pretty much like an epoxy paint. So just get the rest of that off. Squeeze out. I'm sure you have literally hundreds of these things around. If ever you've done a bedding job on a rifle before, bedding the action, you'll know how many of these things you're actually going to need for the whole job, and it's usually quite a lot. So have way more than you think you're ever going to need, and you shouldn't be in any trouble. Let's see, it's starting to set already. Get a little bit squeezed out under there, but it doesn't matter, you can't see it. So I pretty much bed everything, and I bed stuff with the stress-free method. I've done this one before. You can see that this is using JB Weld actually, which works very, very well. And in there you may be able to see some pillars, and these are made from brass. And the underside I've used a bedding compound that I made myself using powdered carbon, and it works really well actually. And you can see areas where it's contacting the pillar and not contacting the pillar. So now when you tighten up the screws, they keep going, and then suddenly they stop dead, and there's no the stock isn't being crushed, nothing's being warped, the floor plane isn't conforming to the shape of the stock. Everything is perfectly stress-free, and that just means as the seasons go by and temperatures go high and low, shot-to-shot consistency is usually a lot better, and you don't have to re-zero. I've taken the scope mount off before on mounts that have been bedded in an action. Take the floor, everything apart, put it back together again, and it shoots to the exact same point of impact. Same is not going to be true of your average rifle, which is going to be, you know, no pillars, no bedding job, just steel on wood, and that's that. You know, take it out the action, put it back in, especially if it's not free floated like this one is. You're going to be shooting high and to the right, low and to the left, or any combination in between. So that's basically it. Once this is cured up, what I'm going to do is back the screws out, clean up any excess, and then I'll go ahead and put a little dab of Loctite on there, on the screws, tighten them down, and that should be it. And if ever I need to take it out, take the screws out, block of wood, bang it off, job done. But in the meantime, this is going to be pretty sturdy. And that's my new method, so I'm going to try it out. And you can try it, obviously at your own risk. I haven't done this before. I usually use the steel bedding compound and release agent method. I thought I'd give this a little try. Alright, thanks for watching guys. See you next time.